It's the day before Christmas and Hanukkah too, and I'm looking for a special themed list I could do. So since we like fighting games both older and newer, I'm going to use an idea from a viewer. Some have suggested that I talk about stages, the best, my favorites, creepy ones in cages. In the spirit of the holidays when the temperature's low, I'll discuss the best stages covered in snow. The rules for this list will be concise, only stages coated in snow, sleet, or ice. So let's dive into the fire and flames for this list on winter stages in fighting games. And that's the only part of the video that will intentionally rhyme. I cannot keep that up. Number 10. Antarctica from Street Fighter X Tekken, where it's winter every day. Finally, we bring the fight to Antarctica, the only continent Street Fighter never visited before this game. Though Street Fighter stages usually represent the nationality or secluded training location of the playable fighters, so who would have actually had their home stage there before? A penguin? An iceberg? A mammoth? Well, actually that last one's possible. Don't question it. We have a boxing dinosaur among these series, so a mammoth can't be that unusual. The reason an extinct woolly mammoth is in the background is because the plot point of the mysterious Pandora's box landed in Antarctica and revived a bunch of extinct creatures as a side effect to its powers, along with providing a last-ditch effort game mechanic, but that's another discussion. The Antarctica stage itself is inside of this vehicle with a potentially dangerous open door, showing the landscape of the continent as a mammoth chases down the vehicle with our fighters on it. Antarctica also serves as the location for the Pandora's Box stage, which is just the continent when all hell breaks loose after Pandora has completely taken over. I like how in Sakura and Blanca's arcade mode prologue, Blanca packs a scarf for their trip to this stage. He's the only character who acknowledges that the lack of pants these characters wear in Antarctica is pretty unreasonable, even if he just thinks a scarf will remedy the lack of warmth that his jean shorts would provide. Number 9. Snow from Dead or Alive 3. At least you know what you're getting when you choose a stage with that kind of name. This stage has a lot going on, yet it presents itself in a simple manner, as in it does not shove all of its effects in your face. First off, the stage is on a slope, but it doesn't make it difficult to lose your bearings when moving your character. This stage also has different variations of how hard it's snowing in the background, so if you want to make your battle more epic, maybe the blizzard in the background is more suitable than a light snowfall. The final notable aesthetic choice is that the characters leave footprints and body imprints in the snow. While this is not easy to program in modern times, you have to consider that this game came out in the early 2000s, so it was a pretty impressive feat for the sake of snow physics. Number 8. Wharf Stage 2 from King of Fighters 2000. Kula, what have you done? This stage is frozen. Nothing is left. This ground does not even look safe to walk on. The fan blade over here for this factory probably can't spin, so you ruined a business. You know, maybe if I walk inside the factory, I can find... you destroyed it all. These pipes are frozen. Nothing has been salvaged. The only good thing is that these icy blue colors are pleasing to the eye. Well, Kula, it looks like the aesthetics for this stage have vindicated you. Good job. Number 7. Winter Palace from Tekken. This stage first appeared in Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, being a remix or parallel of sorts to the Cathedral stage in the first version of Tekken 5, which was a darker and redder stage. Winter Palace is a lot brighter and more welcoming. You can look out the window and see a lovely snowfall as you fight. Wait, is the precipitation coming from inside? Someone call the roofer. This stage reappeared in Tekken Tag Tournament 2 and Tekken Revolution. The Tekken Tag 2 version of the stage is probably my favorite iteration. The windows are broken, which allowed ice to freeze all over the background. It makes it feel like time has passed since we last saw this stage, and that it's abandoned, which is perfect for an impromptu fight without disturbing anyone. Tekken 5 had the Polar Paradise stage, which almost got a spot on the list, but the only thing I actually had to say about it was happily yelling, "Penguins!" Number 6. Dead Woods from Mortal Kombat X. This is the first Mortal Kombat X stage that comes to mind when I think of the game, mostly because of that shiny MKX announcement trailer where Scorpion and Sub-Zero fought in these very woods to Wiz Khalifa music. Even without that trailer, this stage feels like a Mortal Kombat stage. With the fighters battling to the death, a stage with treacherous weather conditions fits well. The layout of the woods reminds me of the forest from the Mortal Kombat movie, where Johnny Cage and Scorpion fought, rather than the more iconic but less frigid living forest. If you're wondering how it got so snowy, blame Sub-Zero. His temple is less than a mile away. Number 5. Crash Site from Killer Instinct 2013. KI 2013 was a great reboot and revitalization to the series, but something else it did really well was pay tribute to the original titles, with Crash Site or the Stage of Glacius being a great example. This stage seems to combine as home stages in KI 1 and 2, Mountain Temple and Spaceship respectively. Mountain Temple focused more on the ice theme of Glacius, and Spaceship was more about his origin as an alien. Crash Site emphasized both of these traits, crashing a spaceship into a snowy area that's much more treacherous in its snowfall than the Mountain Temple. His ship was totaled in this not-so-minor crash. It's safe to assume he's stuck here for a while. Conveniently though, he crashed in an icy area, so his stage matches his frosty powers. Imagine if he landed in some desert, or Cleveland, then his stage would have looked silly. Number 4. Japan, the stage of Ryu, in Street Fighter Alpha 2. Street Fighter has always had great winter stages, whether it's the awesome background music of Street Fighter IV's Snowy Rail Yard, or the festive Street Fighter V Happy Holidays stage with all of its decorations. However, there's just something fitting about fighting Ryu in solitude in a secret snow-covered location in Japan. You have the ambiance of the night and that tree blocking the moon, making it feel like you're watching the last fight scene of some martial arts movie. Normally I would make a joke about the fact that Ryu is settling in a snowy area, yet he never wears shoes or sleeves, but Ryu's life and job is training for a fight, so I would not be surprised if he just trained his body and muscles to a point where they could just withstand the cold. Number 3. Canada from Darkstalkers. This is the location of Glacial Valley, the home of the Yeti named Sasquatch. Darkstalkers was never a geographically accurate game, so do not write angry letters to Capcom when you trek out to the Canadian Rockies and do not find this valley or a cluster of friendly Yeti guys. This just looks like a party. I want to hang out with Sasquatch's friends and family. They've got fish and giant skulls of something. They have an inviting arrow pointing me to the village, yet right behind that sign is another sign that says keep out. I'm getting mixed messages here. I cannot tell if this entire stage is ice or if there's any flowing water, but looking at character bios, Sasquatch lives in -22°F habitats, so this water should be frozen, but I'm not complaining. As long as his friends believe in a fair fight and don't gang up on the character Sasquatch is fighting, especially this guy, he looks angrier than the rest. Number 2. Bone Wonderland from Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Seemingly one of the most chosen stages in the game since it lagged the least online, but enough about the non-aesthetics. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 doubled the stages from its vanilla version, most of them being reduxes. Bone Wonderland is a remix of the Cadillac's Island stage, home of Marvel vs. Capcom roster member Tron Bone and her family in the Mega Man Legends games. This stage is basically Cadillac's Island during the winter time, but it has the fun background activities of the surfbots playing in the snow and building snowmen, or snowbots. Overall, it's a nice scene, and the developers added a small touch where you could see the breath of the characters. Despite that, no one is ever visibly cold, regardless of what they're wearing. Number 1. I don't have a dramatic build-up for this one, I simply like the stage. Snowtown from BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma. This is a great looking stage. Story-wise, it's where you first see Jin Kisaragi, so what a surprise! I see the guy with cryomancy powers on the snowy stage. How unexpected. Actually, it may just be a coincidence since in the story he doesn't know what's wrong with the weather in this town. This is a very serene, quaint stage. It's such a happy looking stage with brightly lit houses that have old-fashioned chimneys. The snow falls as cheery snowmen in the background watch onwards, probably built by children who are completely unaware that battles between a crazy cast of characters happen on a regular basis outside of their homes. I wonder how they'd react to a psychotic jelly person fighting a cat-like creature. Also, the snow disappears where the fighters walk, so nice touch. Overall, it has everything I like about a nice winter-themed stage, making it my number one. So what do you think? Let me know some of your favorite snowy or icy stages in fighting games, whether I mention them or not. Thank you all for watching and happy holidays! And if you're watching this when there are no holidays going on, then happy normal day! Your bonus gift is this end card thing. Unless I did not put up the links or there is some error, then it's mostly just a blank screen. Anyway, enough of my potential follies. See you in the next video.